We're just going to kind of go over three main selection tools that we're going to be using in Photoshop. Those selection tools are always going to be the fourth one from the top in our toolbar on the left. Just quickly going over what they are, we have the Object Select, the Quick Select, and the Magic Wand. If you're using the keyboard shortcuts, you can hit W and it will pop up the first one. Now you know that you have hidden tools in your toolbar if you have a little arrow on the bottom right hand corner. So the top five actually all have hidden tools. So if I click and hold, we can see all the other ones hidden underneath. But again, we're only going to be using the selection tools right now. So Object Select, Quick Select, and Magic Wand. To start off is the Object Select. So what this does, it's a new tool in Photoshop. It recognizes what your object is versus what your background is. So if I hold over and just my mouse, I'm not clicking anything, just have my mouse hovering, whatever is blue, it recognizes that that's my object. So if I just click once, it will then have what I call the dancing ants, so you can see what is selected. So then right over here, it's saying like, oh, hey, this computer is an object. This kid's head is an object. So then I could add those selections if I wanted to. So this works really well. Kevin Hart over here, I just hover over, it knows that it's him, so then it selects from the background. Now there's other times when this doesn't work well, or maybe it's grabbing too much. So I'm gonna go back to me. To deselect, I'm gonna hit Command D on my keyboard, or you could go up to Select, Deselect. And let's say I just wanted to grab part of me. That's when the Quick Selection tool is really useful. So Quick Selection, if you look at the top up here where my mouse is, it has three options. You just have a general one, you have an add, and a subtract. So I'm going to use the add, and let's say I want to grab my eye. I can just click and drag, and it will start to select that little area that I've been dragging around. If I want to add more, I can click and drag over here. Now it grabbed too much, so if I hold Option on my keyboard, you can see on my forehead that little plus sign goes to a negative. I'll zoom in for you. So plus, oh, not now. Plus goes to negative or a minus sign, or up at the top, you can always click on that minus sign right here. But I like doing the keyboard shortcuts, so I'm gonna hold the negative or hold Option so the negative's up, and then I can start dragging, and you can see it's starting to deselect some of those areas. So this is really useful if I just want certain things. So like certain parts of me, like the eyes. And we're gonna, in the next video, we'll be using this Quick Selection tool to select our eyes for something. The last tool is that Magic Wand tool. Now this is awesome if you're trying to select very specific colors. So I'm gonna deselect again, Command D. And this one, it's not gonna work great because there's a lot of gray, but it's not a solid one. Kevin Hart has a pretty solid background. So if I click it, it will select a lot, but if we zoom in again, it grabbed part of his ear, which is no good. So Command D to deselect. But this drawing, because it's a solid yellow, if I deselect, or if I'm gonna unlock that background just to make it a little better, I can just click on the yellow and it selected all the yellow that was connected. So I can hit delete. I can click on the yellow in between my braid and my beard. I can hit delete, and now I have a transparent background. So the Magic Wand's really good for like things that are drawn. Maybe the paint bucket tool was used for some kind of digital art and you just want to erase that. Or maybe you want to like change a color and you need to select that very specific color, like my forehead. Now because this is selected, I can go in with whatever tool I need to recolor it. So again, Object Select, amazing to separate your background and your subject and let Photoshop do all the thinking. Quick Select if you want to select very specific parts of an object, and Magic Wand if you want to select a very specific color. I hope that helps. In the next one, we're going to be going over layer masking.